I've been through a lot of toxic and fake shit when it comes to relationships. I spent so many years chasing guys who didn't want me the way that I wanted them, and I wasted so much time living my life that way. It caused so much affliction physically, mentally, spiritually. I was having chronic yeast infections and the doctors couldn't figure out why. That's because it wasn't from a physical ailment, it was from a spiritual. I had so much shame, low self-worth, self-hatred, not caring about myself, chasing physical pleasure, confusing that excitement for love. You don't need to chase anyone because the right person for you is going to love you for you. You got to be the real you. You got to be yourself. Let's get into what love really is. Real love is the opposite of a fleeting desire. It has a root. It's not an emotion that just comes and goes. It's consistent. It's not full of lies. It's open, honest, transparent. It doesn't constrain you. It lets you be free. You have freedom to choose because we're sovereign. You treat your partner with respect, with kindness, with compassion, tenderness. You see the best in someone and you remind them of that. Real love uplifts someone. It's like real friendship. When you support someone, that's real love. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sasha, if it's your first time here. So today I want to talk about how we can end a toxic relationship. And you guys, this is not something that I read out of a book. I'm not a therapist, but this is just coming from real life experience. Unfortunately, okay, it's not necessarily anything that I'm proud of, but I just know how much I've grown as a woman, especially this past year. And I want to share these lessons with you guys because I hope that it can help you, or that it can just like inspire you in some way for your own healing. You are more than capable of getting yourself out of a bad situation, even if you believe you're in love. So let's go ahead and get into it. What I've learned this year is that the reason that you would even be in a toxic relationship, it stems from childhood, you guys. And I've made a couple of videos on this. I'll link them down below. But when I say childhood, is like things like if one of your parents was absent, divorce, basically like abandonment. A lot of issues stem from that. So I know it's so common in today's world and people try to just normalize it or minimize the effects that it has, but there are very real effects. Because think about it, as a child, your first examples of love, that's what you believe to be true. It's either off TV or the things that you see around you. Whoever raised you, your childhood experiences, they mold and shape what you believe is true in the world. Because you're little, you don't understand that there's just so many different people and different examples. You just take what was true for you and you internalize it and you believe that's what's true about the world. In my case, I had abandonment issues, but they were minimized. I'm a child of divorce, and so there was some physical and there was emotional abandonment. I'm not blaming my parents. I'm not saying it's one or the other's fault or both. What I'm saying is that my experiences as a kid had a huge impact on my relationships. So look first at your childhood, and that's going to give you a lot of clues as to why you're in the situation that you're in now. And it's just about awareness. It's not about blaming anyone. It's about understanding your behavior. So when you experience abandonment, you know, it makes you feel alone. It makes you feel like you've done something wrong. It makes you feel just like unworthy. You can feel like sad, you can feel angry, and you feel like you're missing something, you know? So because of that feeling, you tend to subconsciously chase parents, okay? And that can translate later on. You know, I was feeling like I was needing that male presence. And I know so many people can go through this, because even if your dad was like in jail, if your dad has died, or if your mother is not the one that raised you, whatever the case, like you're chasing, you're craving, you're wanting that love and that affection, and you're needing it as a child. So when you don't get it, or you're lacking in some way in that area, when you're in later on in life, when you find yourself in a romantic relationship, you are acting out those same patterns, and it trips me out, you know? Like, I had to take a real deep look at myself this past year. It's the spiritual journey that I've been on, you know, taking a look at my behavior, and it's like I had to ask myself and be real with myself, like, why was I chasing guys? You know, like somebody on the outside might look at me and say, oh, you're a beautiful girl, you're intelligent, you're smart, you have so much going for you. Like, why would you do that? But this has nothing to do with how you look. This is about how you feel deep, deep inside. It's not like I just woke up one day and was like, oh, I have abandonment issues. Like, no, these are layers. You know, we as people, we have layers, and we have to peel them off to really get to the root of our issues. So it's like, it wasn't like one or two guys. It was like a consistent pattern of mine, that like me desiring guys that were emotionally unavailable, or even physically unavailable, you know, and had horrible patterns of like multiple women, cheating, lying, not being there, not being consistent. And it's just crazy, the correlation between childhood and then adulthood. You know, when you don't heal these patterns, when you don't heal this trauma that you've gone through, and yes, it is trauma. It's so easy for people to be like, well, get over it. How many people have both, you know, especially in Black and brown communities, people are like, well, it's like, you're lucky you even had a mom. Like, I didn't have a mom or a dad. No, it's not about that. Like, our family units have been torn down, and that's a whole nother, there's so many strong, in-depth reasons for that. But nevertheless, what I'm touching on is, okay, you don't have both parents, or you don't have either parent. What that does to your romantic relationships later on, it affects them big time, you know? And you have to look at that trauma. You have to work on healing yourself if you want to be in a healthy relationship, you guys, because it's like when you're in a toxic relationship, it's so easy to blame the other person. Oh, you're not doing this, you're not doing that, I feel this way. But it's like, we have to take responsibility for our own energy. If a guy is showing you that he is inconsistent, if you're not the only one, if you're constantly feeling bad, like, this is not his fault. This is your fault, because why are you allowing this in your life? Why are you sticking around for this? Well, deep down, you might feel like you deserve it, because as a kid, that's how you felt. That's what you thought was love. So then later on, it feels familiar, and you feel like, okay, like, it doesn't feel good, but that's what I'm used to. It doesn't feel good, but that's what I deserve. It doesn't feel good, but that's all I know. It doesn't feel good, but that's all I saw. No, no, no. Like, there is better, but it has to start with you first to heal yourself and really raise up your own self-worth and self-love. You have to take care of yourself first, and then you will attract a partner who finds you worthy, because you find yourself worthy. Because you guys, in life, everything is a mirror. So how you feel inside, your beliefs at your core, that's what you're gonna find out into the world. So if deep down you think, or you were taught, or whatever, you believe that like all men cheat, or all men are dogs, like if that's how you feel deep down inside, then that is what the universe is gonna give you, because the universe always says yes. If you believe that, then that is what you're gonna get. He might be sweet talking you in the beginning. It might be all peaches and cream in the beginning. But if you actually believe that about men, he will prove that to be true to you, because your beliefs create your reality. So what you want to do is get to the core of your beliefs, you know, get to the core of your values, and just be like, okay, once you change that and you decide like, okay, no, there are good men out there. There are honest men out there. There are faithful men out there. There are men out there full of integrity, who love themselves, who are honorable, who are loving. You know, when you believe that and then you embody that yourself, those same values, that is when you can attract a healthy relationship. We're diving deep today, you guys. I just feel like this is so important to just really understand. So if this is helping you like in any way, make sure you press the like button and subscribe, you guys. So anyways, let's go back to childhood. Let's go back to feeling like abandoned, you know, by a parent. So for example, as a kid, you don't really understand what's going on, right? You have these feelings. It's probably feeling a little bit chaotic, and you just are dealing with it, you know, as best as you can. I know for me, I hid how I felt because it was not acceptable to express it. That's in my personal case, you know, and maybe it's the same for you. When you hide how you really feel and you suppress it, you know, like I was taught that showing your feelings was like a sign of weakness. Like that you have to be strong because, you know, you don't want to be weak. That life is going to be hard and you need to just tough it out. In a way, that's true. But at the same time, when you suppress those feelings, it's like they don't go anywhere. They just get pushed down. And it's like that causes resentment. You know, it causes resentment. So later on in my relationships, same thing. If a guy was treating me in a way that I didn't like, I did the same thing as childhood, which was not express, not tell them how I felt. I would hide it. I would not just hide it. I would pretend everything was not just okay, but great, that I was totally fine with it. I was cool with it. I was chill, because to show my real emotions in my head was like to show weakness, you know. And you guys, this kind of touches on masculine and feminine energy. Like, unfortunately, we're living in a dominantly masculine society where women are like shamed for being in their feminine. It's not soft to be in your feelings. Like, if a guy is treating you wrong, you should be able to express that, and he should be able to respect that. And if he can't hear you out, then that is not someone you want to be with. If you can't express how you feel to him, first take a look at yourself and ask yourself why. And then secondly, when you get the courage to do it, if he's not trying to hear that, if he doesn't care how you feel, that is not love. That is not respect. He does not care. He just doesn't care. And why continue to put yourself through that? You guys, just because we learned these things in childhood, just because we went through these things, it doesn't make it right. You know, you have to decide for yourself, what kind of life do you want to live? You know, like, what are you willing to tolerate? Because I'm just here to remind you that, like, you deserve a wonderful, beautiful love, you know, because at your core, that is what you are. You're made from love and you're divine. So we don't have to settle for mediocre. We don't have to settle for these grown boys, like Tony Gaskin calls it, you know. Like, we don't have to settle for people who don't want us back. Like, you're worth so much more than that. You have to tap into your goddess energy, remember who you are, and, you know, be strong enough to cut ties with people who are not serving you. Like, if you're on this video, that means like you're interested in how you want to end a toxic relationship. So I'm just gonna let you know what has worked for me, because it's important. This is so important. Like, I was on the Shade Room. I'll go on there sometimes just to see what's going on with pop culture, you know, in the Black community and stuff. And just see like what's popping, what's going on. And I saw like, you know, I don't remember their names. It was a rapper and a female with the curly hair, the blonde hair, you know, and they're going back and forth on Instagram and da 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 da. And it's just like, I remember that. But for me, it was like MySpace days, you know, where it's just like, you are as a female, you're over here wanting to change this grown ass boy, man. You're over here crying to your Instagram story. What are we supposed to do? Look in the mirror and ask yourself, why are you dealing with this? Why are you putting up with it? Do you not have enough self-worth to leave? Leave, kid or not. And I'm not just talking out of my ass and out of thin air. Like, I have a daughter. And yes, I'm a single mom, and it's hard. It's not easy, but what's harder is tolerating treatment that I know I'm worth more than that. Have enough self-respect, enough self-love to let that person figure out their own stuff on their own, pick up your baby and leave with your head up high with some self-respect. Learn the lesson and move on, because you guys, when we don't learn the lesson, when we don't get it, all that happens is it's going to be a different person, the different face, and it's going to be the same shit. The same stuff until you get the lesson. So let's learn the lessons, you guys, which is self-love, self-respect, so we're not treated like dirt. It's really about changing your mindset. You have to not just heal your childhood stuff, but you have to just take on a whole new mindset. Like for me, I just decided like no more half loves, half truths, half loyalty. I have to affirm to myself, I value healthy and fulfilling relationships. It's a whole new state of mind. You know, I know that as women, you guys, we are the nurturers. We feel like we can fix. We can fix these men. We can fix our partner. We want to. We have that desire. We feel like, well, with me, it's going to be different. My love can heal him. With my love, I can make him be different. If I just do this or that or be patient, if I'm just a ride or die, he's going to change. I'm going to make him change. And we tell ourselves this. No one can change unless they want to. They have to want to within themselves. Your love cannot do it. Not even a therapist can do it. God could probably do it if they are open to it, because he gives us free will down here. You know what I'm saying? So that was me. I used to think like, okay, I'm going to just stick it out and eventually he'll get it. Eventually he'll see I'm worth it. No. So you guys are probably like, so how do you end it, right? How do you end it? I just have to give you some background. I want you to know where it's coming from. I want you to know that you have to do some healing on yourself. I want you to focus all of your energy on yourself. That's what I had to do. And it's not going to be easy. It's not meant to, because it's like, the deeper it gets, the harder it is, the more valuable the lesson is, the more it's gonna stick, the more you're gonna see your life transform, because it's like you have to go through so much. You're not gonna forget that, okay? So it's like, I want you to remember to work on yourself. That is how we're gonna end the toxic relationship. Forget about him and focus everything on yourself. And he is going to try to manipulate you, gaslight you, make you feel like you're the one tripping, you're the one crazy, you're the problem. No, it's manipulation. And you can fall for it if you want to, but it's going to be a never-ending cycle, you guys. It's so damaging. It's so heartbreaking. It's so demeaning. What kind of examples are we setting for our children when we stay in situations like this? You know, you want to cut ties. You can do it. He's not the only person in the world. And focus everything on yourself to heal, build up your self-worth, and eventually attract a healthy relationship. it comes down to trusting the wrong people. You know, you trusted the wrong person. It's time to trust yourself. I want to remind you that your security, your happiness, it comes from within yourself. It comes from within. Your security, your happiness, it comes from within yourself. And when you make it that way, no one has the ability to take it away from you. You know, remember who you are. Go back to your innocence of when you were a child. You know, be there for yourself. Remember who you are. You know, you're worthy of real love. Give that real love to yourself. You know, respect yourself. Listen to your feelings. Hear yourself. Meditate. Journal. Talk to a friend. Therapy. Someone who's going to listen to you openly and accept your feelings as true, because they are. Your feelings are valid. I'm here to let you know that your feelings are valid. Don't look to him to validate you. If you're in a toxic relationship, that's what he's not going to do. He's going to make you feel worse. You need to be able to cut ties. This is a sign to work on yourself and just build yourself up from the inside out, you guys. This is why I talk about self-love, because it's so important. Self-love is not about how you look. It's not about how you dress yourself and how you wear your hair and do your nails and none of that. Self-love is inside of you. You remembering who you really are, knowing that you are a goddess, you are a child of God. You are everything. Women are, we're everything. People. Okay, guys, that's pretty much everything that I wanted to say in this video. Drop me a comment. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you're going through a breakup, if you've gotten through a toxic relationship. Are you healing right now? Are you single? You know, there's just so much more out there in the world, and I talked about it in one of my older videos, where it's just so true. Like, when you do the work, the inner work on yourself, the shadow work on yourself, which is you addressing feelings that you didn't know were there. You know, when you start to heal these parts of yourself and you feel yourself getting stronger and you feel yourself taking care of yourself better and feeling better, then you'll be in a place to attract something better, because remember, the world is a mirror. So you are going to get what you are deep inside. And that was a hard truth that I had to face, because when I was looking at my toxic relationships in the past, it was hard for me to accept the fact that, wow, I was attracting that because inside I had some toxicity of my own. I was believing these harsh truths. I was believing this about the world to be true, you know, and then that's what I got. So as I changed my beliefs, as I rewired my mind to take on new thoughts, like, wow, there are good men out there. There's divine masculine energy out there. You know, as I started to believe these things, then it started to become reflected. The universe started to show me those kinds of men, and it always, like, it touches my heart so much, because like this year specifically, I've come across like genuinely good men, you know, and unfortunately you're not going to see it on TV. You're not going to see it in the mainstream media, because they want to perpetuate, they want to keep these cycles going. You know, there is a spiritual war happening around us at all times, and for there to be a war, there has to be two sides, you know, good and evil, light and dark, whatever you want to call it. But basically, you know, there are good men out there. There are honorable men with good intentions, with integrity, you know, who are leaders, who care about women, who love them genuinely, good fathers, good examples, sober. You know, they don't have to drink to make it through the day. They don't have to, it's not about judging people, but it's just like there's a whole world out there of people that I didn't know existed. And it's not about being a perfect person. It's not about Prince Charming and the fairy tales. It's not about that. You know, we are people and nobody is perfect out here, but there are people who strive to be a good person every day, who care about being honest, who care about being loyal to their woman, who are okay being a one-man woman. You know, don't listen to this this bullshit out here. It's propaganda to have you in a low vibration. No, we're gonna rise higher than that, you know? So forgive yourself for the things that you didn't know. Forgive yourself, be gentle with yourself, and show yourself compassion, because although I'm in such a better headspace now, I'm in such a more of a healed place, a strong place now, it wasn't easy to get to this point. You know, there was times that I felt like maybe I should just go back to what I know. Maybe I should just go backwards and just deal with it and just put up with it because, oh, all women deal with it. No, all women don't. The ones that deal with the bad behavior are the ones who have just accepted it as normal, and oh, I'm just gonna go through it, I'm just gonna deal with it, oh, that's all men. No, it's not. No, it's not. There's better out there. You will attract better for yourself as you become a better person inside and just heal. So don't be hard on yourself, be patient with yourself. And if I can do it, you can do it. Toxic relationships are so common in this world, but the way out is through healing yourself, you know, putting yourself first. And that's pretty much it, you guys. I hope that this helped you in some way. And if it did, drop me a comment and let me know. I love you so much. I'm sending you so much love and power and healing. And I will see you in my next video. Bye, you guys.